I am here with Theo Walcott. Thank you for joining us. Now, what does it mean for you to be involved in Soccer Aid 2024?
For me, it means, I've watched it in previous years in England, not been successful. So hopefully I can change that pattern as well. But just the fact that the amount of money that's raised as well for the charity and to give children a start in life, I think it's really important for anyone to really understand. And if I can help in any way, I'm very grateful for that. And as well, the kids will get a chance to see me playing it, and I feel like they've missed their dad playing. So it's nice to actually put on an England shirt. I haven't put on an England shirt for a long time as well, and to play with some celebs and see what they're like, and maybe not passing the ball at times. We'll see. I'm really looking forward to it because what UNICEF does for children across the world is such a blessing.
And of course, this year Soccer Aid is looking to top the amount raised from last year, which was £14.6 million. If you top that, it would mean that the overall amount raised since 2006, when this game started, would pass £100 million. How amazing would that feel to achieve that in your first Soccer Aid?
It would be incredible. When you're talking about that amount of money that can sort of save lives and, like I say, start off lives for people as well and change people's lives, I think is so important. But yeah, that would be fantastic for me to be part of that and to be part of England's first win for a while as well. I want to be part of that, I must say, because we can't have this World 11 winning all the time. We can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Now, a lot of names in there. Of course, Jack Wilshere's in there, who played at Arsenal at the same time as you. Are there any names in particular you're thinking, from a footballing perspective, looking forward to working with them? Any celebrities that you're thinking I might want to get a cheeky selfie with at some point? Or
cheeky selfies? Yeah,
Usain Bolt, surely.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind having a little run race against him during the game at some point. So I will just put myself up and I'll just probably talk to him, say, "Can you just give me 40 yards and see what we can do?" Yeah. Just to see how actually quick of course he's quick, of course. So yeah, but that would be the main one to get a selfie with, I'll be honest with you. I'm looking forward to seeing Stuart Broad, to be honest, because the cricket guys love playing their football. There was a few injuries back in the day, weren't there, when they played football. So look forward to playing with him. Mo Farah as well, seeing how long he can last. Probably can continuously play. But yeah, no, it's nice to actually play with some of the old faces as well in the England team. Gary Cahill, Jermaine Defoe, Jack, of course, and to work with Frank and him telling me what to do, which is no change there, really. So yeah, it's going to be a nice, great day, and of course, like you say, raise as much money as we can.
Now, talking about your old team, Arsenal now, what have you made of their season, and how do you feel going into what is going to be a really high pressure next, kind of 4 or 5 weeks for them?
To be honest, it's been high pressure since day one. You play for Arsenal Football Club as well, and what the expectations that's brought in that club. They're in the title race, of course. It's nice the fact we don't really know who's going to win. It could go anywhere. The goal difference is a big factor for me. I look at that, and people say, and I was one of them, to be fair, needing the number 9 type feel, but proving everyone wrong. I think the fact of Carl Havertz has sort of found his feet as well and he's found his position. I think that's really important. He's got them ticking up front. Got everyone coming back fit as well. But there's always something that happens in the running. But I think it's nice that we all talk and we all got different opinions who's going to win. We're not quite sure. And that's why we love the Premier League. And I think as well, the teams are competing each and every year. Next year is going to be probably more teams are talking about win the league. So but it'd be nice for a change, I feel. And I feel like it will be a change. I'm just not quite sure who. So we'll see.
Who for you has been the standout player for Arsenal so far this season?
I'm going to be quite biased and be forwards because I'm a forward player. Look, the defence has been absolutely solid. And I think the Saliba at the back, he was greatly missed for a period of time last year, particularly towards the end of the season. I scored against Arsenal when playing for Southampton in the 3-3. A few Arsenal fans weren't happy about. I had to do my job. But Saliba wasn't playing that day, so I'm going to have to go Saka. I think Bukayo his goal tally, his goal contributions, the way he plays, I think for me he's always been impressive. My kids absolutely love him like me. So yeah, he's graced the field really well, really has.
When you look at Arsenal last season compared to this season, one example just being, Manchester City, 3-1 win, 4-1 wins for City. This season we've seen the Community Shield, winning against them at the Emirates. Does that alone just show how much this team has improved?
I think the pattern's changing for Arsenal. I think the expectations changing as well, and the people are now expecting Arsenal to win those games and to take points, and they've taken the points off them as well. And they're just solid. They're hard to break down, and there's not really particularly anything that's very weak of Arsenal, really, as well. They can do everything. They can play tremendous football. They can do the dirty side of it, and they know how to manage a game. And I think as well, that's credit to what Mikel's done at the club, the staff, backroom staff. He's a lot calmer, very different on the sideline. I mean, his experiences he's had with these managers that he's played for and has worked under as well, and Pep being one of them. I think it's quite nice that he's facing off against two of the greats, Pep and Klopp. So if you beat them, you deserve to win the league, because them two are two of the greatest managers that have ever sort of been involved in the game. There's something about Klopp that's just eating away at me, and I feel like it's going to continuously eat away. So, I mean, it's one of those, I can't call it. I really can't.
And, speaking about Mikel Arteta, when he first came into the position, there were some raised eyebrows. There were times when a lot of questions were asked of him. No matter what happens with the Premier League title this season, do you feel like just the way that they have competed last season and this season really does silence any critics and really just does prove that he is the man for the job at Arsenal?
I don't, me personally, I wasn't one of those people. I always felt like he always had that feeling. He was always had that feeling he was going to be a manager. I remember, during my time at Arsenal when we weren't quite in the Champions League positions and we weren't playing particularly well, and he pretty much stopped training ahead of Arsene Wenger, and Arsene's like, where's everyone training? He had pulled a meeting, and he had that sort of aura about him to get the players together, talk to them, and then he changed the dynamic, and we ended up being in the top four that year. Just knew from that day he was going to be a manager. So I think as well what he's done for the Emirates and the Arsenal brand, the Arsenal supporters as well, he's brought everyone together, which wasn't probably there for years leading up to his reign there. And that's credit again to him. I think he's allowed that to happen, and the way he had been playing the players, and it's been patient, of course. I think you need that patience. When you look at United right now, and you're going to need patience with Man United. We want to see Man United be back up there again. I don't know. More teams want to compete in the league. It's the best league in the world. We want more teams to compete. We want this uncertainty who's going to win. We want teams to take points off each other. That's why we love the Premier League. So we want to be talking about these teams because, like I say, it's the best league in the world. It's the most talked league in the world. Best players that play in this league, I believe. But yeah, Mikel could make history, and I hope he does. I really do. But like I say, something about Klopp. It's just
Klopp's in the back of your mind, isn't he?
Oh, of course. I think it'd be in the back of mind a lot of people. I think his announcement. I think Liverpool score a lot of goals. They score so many goals. I mean, they're not really too bold about keeping clean sheets, but that's where Arsenal are different. Keep clean sheets and score a lot of goals. And that goal tally at the moment, goal difference, could be a big factor in the title race. So it's going to go all the way. I think it will generally go all the way, which is nice to see. Might have another Aguero moment. We don't know. We'll see.
Switching gears now to England. At 17, you got a World Cup call-up. A lot of discussion about Kobbie Mainoo. Should he be on the plane? I want to ask, what is your opinion as somebody who has been in that position of being very young and being thrown into the spotlight? And if you had any advice for him, what would you say to him?
To be honest, my situation was very different to his. I didn't experience playing in the Premier League. I was only 17, just 17. So I had not that experience of playing week in, week out, which he's doing right now, so that's a difference. But not just that, he's playing above his age, he really is. I think we, of course, look, there's always new talents that come through, I get that, but we do need to have a bit of patience. But he's ready for England. But again, it's just not that to build him up. I think he's the sort of lad that can cope with it. I really do. I think when you're playing for Man United as well, one of the biggest clubs in the world, but if you're playing for that week in, week out, you deserve to play for England. Simple as that. I don't care what anyone says. And I think his way he plays the game, he's so elegant and he's peaceful and he's very calm. Look, I was a completely different player. I was all about pace and raw and just fearless, and which he's got as well. He's fearless, and I think that's important to sort of nurture that side of it. Have some patience, because there's going to be ups and downs. Of course, there will be. Personnel may change, managers may change. He's going to have to deal with that side of it. But the best advice for me, he doesn't need my advice, because what he's doing right now is playing football, and that's the best advice you can get from the people around you, people that support you in that side of it, and he's got that supporting sort of background. I think that core sort of England group he's got there. Rashford, I think would be really good for him because of his experience with England, to be able to sort of nurture him in that sense. And Harry Maguire, I think those key players around him that have experienced that in England are all the best people for advice right now. Not anyone else, not me, because I've not been there and seen him. So I'd say, look, listen to those guys, they look after you. I had Ashley Cole, Sol Campbell that looked after me, and that helped. So look after people that are close to you, and don't really look on the outside. I think best to keep it in-house. That's my best advice. Keep it in-house, and make sure you communicate to those guys because they look after you.
And finally, big debate with England is, of course, Ivan Toney, Ollie Watkins, Harry Kane. Where do you stand on this? Should all three be on the plane?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, do you know what, right? I like watching the games, England's, yes, they miss Harry Kane, of course you would. But there's a way you can play differently. Look at Tottenham right now, the way they're playing differently without Harry Kane. People are a bit concerned, we won't be able to survive Harry Kane. They're probably playing better, to be fair, not relying on one particular player. Look, England, at times we have relied on Harry Kane. I think it was a big factor that we do look for him. Ollie Watkins is a completely different player, so depending on the game, the structure, how it works. I mean, he's had a fantastic season in the Premier League. I think the goals, the runs, I think he's going to be a threat, of course. Ivan Toney, again, he's that link player, and I think I like that for England. I think I'm more drawn towards Ivan Toney to play, not disregarding Ollie Watkins, but if Harry Kane wasn't available, I'd be more drawn for him just because he links the forwards, I think, in a different way than Ollie Watkins would. But again, I think Ollie Watkins would do a good job. But I just feel your Sakas, your Fodens, your Grealish, it's endless. I mean, you got your Bellinghams. I mean, there's so much. Gareth Scott to pick from. So look, I think we should take options, three strikers, and of course Rashford can play up front as well. So again, there'd be no one to keep an eye out for as well.
Would you take Rashford to the Euros?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
I think people forget what Rashford's done for England and England shirt, and for Man United. He has some fantastic moments. I think when the big stage, that's when your best players, you need to sort of trust them, and I think he's someone that should be in England team. Yeah.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.